What happens when the toughest cop in Chicago gets dropped right into the middle of London? You get Brannigan, the 1975 crime thriller where John Wayne trades horses for handcuffs and the Wild West for wet British streets. But here's the crazy part: this movie wasn't just another action flick. Wayne was nearly 70, dealing with serious health issues, and still doing physical fight scenes on top of Tower Bridge. Behind the scenes, there were cultural clashes, risky stunts, script rewrites, and a late-career reinvention attempt that most fans never talk about. Today we're uncovering 20 hidden facts about Brannigan, the film that proved the Duke wasn't going down without a fight. Let's get into it. Fact number 1. John Wayne was seriously ill during filming. One of the biggest hidden truths about Brannigan is that John Wayne wasn't in great health when he made it. He had undergone major cancer surgery in 1964, including the removal of a lung, and by the mid-70s, his stamina wasn't what it used to be. He was pushing 68 years old during production. Yet here he was doing fight scenes, climbing structures, running across London rooftops. The crew had to schedule shoots carefully because Wayne tired easily. They'd often rearrange scenes to give him rest breaks. But you'd never guess it watching the movie. He powered through like a pro. That old-school toughness. It wasn't acting. Fact number 2. The movie was inspired by Dirty Harry's success. Let's be real, Brannigan didn't come out of nowhere. After the success of Dirty Harry starring Clint Eastwood, studios wanted more tough, no-nonsense American cops taking on crime. The gritty cop thriller was hot. So the idea was simple. What if we took that hard-edged American lawman and dropped him into proper, rule-following Britain? That culture clash was the hook. But instead of copying Eastwood's cold intensity, Wayne brought his own brand of swagger and blunt force charm. Fact number 3. It was one of the few times Wayne played a modern cop. John Wayne built his career on westerns and war films. Cowboys, soldiers, frontier justice. Brannigan is unusual because it puts him in a contemporary urban setting. No horses, no cavalry charges, just concrete, traffic, and bureaucracy. For longtime Wayne fans, it felt almost surreal seeing him in a 1970s cop thriller instead of riding across Monument Valley. It showed he was trying to stay relevant in a decade that was changing fast. Fact number 4. The London setting was a major selling point. The producers knew the London backdrop would be huge. The film prominently features Tower Bridge, the Thames, Piccadilly Circus, and several recognizable city locations. In fact, one of the climactic sequences uses Tower Bridge in a way that became one of the film's most memorable visuals. At the time, filming large-scale action scenes in London wasn't as common as today. That gave Brannigan a fresh look compared to American urban thrillers. Fact number 5. The Tower Bridge scene was extremely risky. That famous fight scene atop Tower Bridge. It wasn't just movie magic. Wayne actually performed part of that sequence himself. The wind conditions were brutal, and safety harnesses weren't as sophisticated as they are today. At one point, the crew was genuinely worried about the height and Wayne's balance. Remember, this was a man with one lung doing a fight scene high above London traffic. Old Hollywood didn't play around. Fact number 6. Cultural clashes happened on and off screen. The American versus British tension wasn't just in the script, it happened behind the scenes too. Wayne was known for his straightforward, no-filter personality. British crews were more reserved and formal in their approach. There were reports that Wayne didn't love the more structured British working style, while some crew members found him larger than life in every sense. It wasn't hostile, but it was definitely a culture shock. Fact number 7. Richard Attenborough helped balance the film. Wayne's co-star, Richard Attenborough, brought a completely different energy. Attenborough was already an established British actor and future Oscar-winning director. His performance gave the film some grounded sophistication. Behind the scenes, he was said to be diplomatic and professional, often smoothing over minor tensions. That on-screen contrast between Wayne's brute force and British restraint, that was very real. Fact number 8. The script went through multiple rewrites. The original screenplay reportedly leaned harder into the comedy of cultural differences. But as production moved forward, the tone shifted to something more serious and gritty. Wayne preferred a tougher edge rather than outright parody. So several rewrites adjusted dialogue and pacing. Some of the sharper one-liners were added later to better suit Wayne's delivery style. Fact number 9. It reflected 1970s crime anxiety. The 1970s were filled with gritty crime dramas because audiences were dealing with real-world fears about rising crime. Even in Britain, crime headlines were becoming more prominent. Brannigan tapped into that global unease. It wasn't just an action flick, it mirrored public anxiety of the time, even if it wrapped it in old-school bravado. Fact number 10. Wayne refused to tone down his accent. Producers briefly considered softening Wayne's southern drawl to make him sound more Chicago. Wayne wasn't having it. He delivered lines exactly as he always did. His argument? Brannigan wasn't supposed to blend in, he was supposed to stand out. And honestly, that choice made the character way more memorable. Fact number 11. The car chases were real and dangerous. The car chases in Brannigan weren't CGI enhanced or digitally stabilized. They were practical, shot on real London streets. Traffic control wasn't as advanced as modern film shoots. There were moments where near misses with real vehicles made it into final cuts. That gritty realism? Totally authentic. Fact number 12. Wayne insisted on physical fight scenes. Despite his age and health issues, Wayne insisted on performing close combat sequences himself when possible. He believed audiences could tell when actors were replaced by doubles. That philosophy added authenticity, but also stress for the production team. Insurance concerns were very real. Fact number 13. It was part of Wayne's late career reinvention. By 1975, Hollywood was shifting toward younger anti-heroes like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Wayne wasn't that kind of actor. Brannigan represented his attempt to modernize without abandoning who he was. Instead of becoming darker or morally ambiguous, he stayed classic, just in a new environment. Fact number 14. The film divided critics. When it premiered, critics were split. Some praised the novelty of Wayne in London. Others felt it was out of step with the darker tone of 70s cinema. Compared to films like The French Connection, it felt more traditional. But audiences were more forgiving than critics. Fact number 15. The budget was modest for an action film. Compared to big American productions of the time, Brannigan didn't have a massive budget. That meant creative solutions were needed for action scenes. Location shooting helped stretch the budget by using real environments instead of expensive sets. Fact number 16. The villain was meant to be more sinister. Early drafts gave the antagonist a more psychologically complex background. However, the final cut simplified him into a more straightforward crime boss. The studio likely felt audiences wanted clarity, not moral ambiguity. Fact number 17. Wayne's relationship with the director was professional. The film was directed by Douglas Hickox. Hickox had a strong television background and brought a disciplined shooting schedule. Wayne respected efficiency. While they weren't creatively explosive partners, they maintained a steady working relationship without major drama. Fact number 18. It was filmed during a transitional era for Wayne. Wayne was nearing the final chapter of his career. Just a few years later, he would star in The Shootist, often considered his farewell masterpiece. Looking back, Brannigan feels like a bridge between classic Duke and reflective Duke. Fact number 19. The film did better internationally than expected. Interestingly, the film found strong appeal outside the US, particularly in European markets. The American out-of-water premise resonated with international audiences more than domestic critics anticipated. Fact number 20. It's gained cult appreciation over time. While it wasn't considered a top-tier Wayne film at release, Brannigan has developed a cult following. Fans appreciate it as a time capsule, a 1970s crime thriller starring a classic Hollywood icon refusing to fade quietly. It may not be his most famous work, but it's one of his most fascinating. So there you have it, 20 hidden facts about Brannigan. A film that showed John Wayne stepping out of the frontier and into modern chaos one punch at a time. That if you love uncovering behind-the-scenes secrets from classic Hollywood, hit subscribe, drop a comment with the next movie you want covered, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.